Hey there! In this video, I want to give an update to the Glock 42 for my testing here on the channel. This is a gun that I shot quite a bit last year, but then a certain other .380 hit the market, and that overtook a lot of my video content here on the channel. The Bodyguard 2.0 is a gun that you may have found my channel through. It's a gun that I am still testing, but I'm rather tired of it. It's not a particularly pleasant gun to shoot. I've had all sorts of quality control and reliability and sighting related issues with this pistol that I decided to come back to the Glock 42. In the spirit of full transparency, the Glock 42 that I have here is the same one that I've had for about a year and a half now, but I actually didn't have it with me for about 4 months. I loaned this to a good buddy, and this was his small carry gun for a while, and I got it back about a month and a half ago. And that's kind of rekindled how much more I prefer this over the Bodyguard and the LCP Max. This Glock 42 here is an exceptionally soft shooting gun. It's very, very easy to handle. And I say that not for my uses, but for like my girlfriend or for a lot of other folks. This gun's easier to work and manipulate than the Bodyguard or the LCP Max are. So I do like that. I do have more plans for this pistol for some modifications, and I'll talk about that here in a second. But I want to go over what I've done to the gun so far. So this Glock 42 was one that I bought secondhand at a local big box store, I want to say January or February of 2024. I'm at about 1,500 rounds through it, so not as much as the Bodyguard, but a lot of those rounds have actually been fairly recent. I put about 1,000 rounds through it in 2024, and then I didn't shoot it for 4 or 5 months because it was in possession of a friend of mine. And now that I've had it back, I've put close to 500 rounds through it in the last few weeks here. The gun is very soft shooting, and with the modifications I've done, it's even easier to shoot. So very apparent here, I have stippled the pistol. I'll link the video down below where I talk about the work I did to stipple it, but it wasn't that hard of a job. With this being an FDE frame, or as I call it, the peanut butter Glock, the frame did melt at a different temperature and a different time than the black Glocks that I've got, which made the job a little bit weirder to do. But with the texturing I did, 20 lines per inch, I'm very happy with how it turned out. I also stippled my magazine extensions. While I'm talking about that extension, I'm going to talk about the ones that I recommend. So if you're going to be pocket carrying the gun, use the OEM 6-round magazine. This is probably the best one to go in the pocket. It works really well. For other magazines, avoid any of the aftermarket ones. The ETS or whatever companies are making these, they're crap. Just skip them. Don't buy a Pro Mag, don't buy the ETS. What I would recommend is taking the 6-round OEM mags and putting extensions on them. Here I have the Pierce Plus 1. This is a great extension, adds 1 more round of capacity, plus gives you a pinky extension, and it uses the factory magazine spring. Here I have the Vickers Plus 2. I really like these. They are a little bit bulkier because it's an extra round, but they work very well. These give you a new magazine spring, so you're not relying on that 6-round spring to feed 8 rounds. Both of these have been exceptionally reliable in my gun. Of course, I've stippled them for extra texture, but this is the one that I use. These are specifically the ones I've been carrying the gun with, but I have a half a dozen other 6-rounders with a Pierce Plus 1. I'd recommend it. They work really well. So working our way from the exterior of the gun, let's work up. I have some Ameriglow sights here on the pistol. Tritium rear, orange tritium front. These are a placeholder set of sights. I pulled these off of another gun. They ended up on here. They're a profile that I prefer compared to a lot of other small sights. Like I like these Ameriglows more than the XS sights here, for the R3D XS sights here on the Bodyguard. The front sight's not thin, but it's not thick. It's pretty good for this size of gun. But I do plan on milling this gun for a red dot later this year. Unfortunately, there aren't many companies that mill the 42 for red dots because it's such a small gun that it's harder to do. But C&H Precision does. I'm not a huge fan of C&H Precision, but they're the only game in town for good Glock 42 milling. So you'll see a Holosun 407K on this gun before too long. Internally, I've only swapped 2 components. I'm using a ghost connector as part of the connector and ejector housing assembly, and then a reduced power firing pin block safety spring. I have kept the factory 5.5 pound striker spring. I used to put heavier ones in my guns to make sure I had reliable detonation, but I found that the OEM springs have never let me down. I've never had a Glock that failed to strike a primer hard enough. I just had some rounds that were just bad primers and nothing could get them to detonate. But yeah, I've not been pocket carrying this a ton because truth be told, we're getting into the summertime and I'm wearing a lot of pants where I'm just not pocket carrying anything. So this has mostly been an appendix gun. This has very much been the gun that I'm wearing at the gym for upper body day. This is a weird thing for me, but I like to carry a revolver for leg day. I just feel more confident when I'm bending in half, I'm doing squats or leg press or hack squats. I'm more confident to have a revolver on me. But for upper body day and cardio day, this gun's on me. And I'm carrying it in my JM Custom Kydex AIWB. This holster might look a little bit weird. The gun actually comes to about here, but the extra length of the holster keeps it from pivoting too much over my belt line. It keeps the gun kind of more inboard to the body, which makes it hide even better. So yeah, short video here on the Glock 42. I have been rejuvenated in my love for this gun. And that really comes from how much displeasure I've had with the Bodyguard 2.0. On paper, the Bodyguard is a significantly better gun. However, in practice, I'm let down by it. There's a lot of qualities in this pistol I'd love to see changed. They won't change, but I'd love to see them change. For the Glock 42, I'd love to see a 42X with more capacity, or a company like Shield to do magazines for the Glock 42 that hold more rounds. But as it is right now, even with just 7+1 rounds of 380 in this gun, it's a gun that I'm happy to carry for the instances where I want a smaller pistol. So yeah, I've recently done some shooting with this gun. I'll link that down below. But you'll be seeing more and more out of this pistol. I'm not done with the Bodyguard. Don't worry about that. There's still testing to be done with this gun. But I needed a break. I wanted to shoot a gun that I actually enjoyed shooting, which is the Glock 42. So let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of the Glock 42? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Have you never handled one? Do you like the modifications and work I've done to the pistol? Let me know in the comments down below. And again, thank you so much for watching.